Well, hello again, and thank you for joining me on my stream. Today, continuing to work on my game. I'm going to be doing the working session, basically. Still trying to make the screens be more mobile friendly, and essentially just going through the screens of the game that I have currently, converting those over. Basically, I've kind of put those together visually to kind of get an idea in MS Paint, of course, how I kind of want my screens to look. So just kind of give a look and feel a little bit. So essentially, I'm working on right now is the setup of in-town functions. So this is where, when you're not in the maze or not in the dungeon battling it out, you're back in town buying armor, weapons, spells, resting, looking for jobs, and things like that. Then looking forward to converting the battle system look over to this as well. That'll be a little more interesting. But it should be fun. As fun as it can be developing things. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Of course, I'll need to make the beginning screens all mobile friendly as well, so I'll have to come up with a little bit different design. We'll see how it goes. So far on the main screen. So right now that's going to be designed to play the game portrait mode for now. little bit of the backstory of the game. Give it some flavor text. The game does have music, I just have it turned off at the moment. Now let's go ahead and go to the game music. A few moments here. I'll have to put it all the way up, and then I'll adjust it in the stream. Of course, this will be a complete guess, as I am still scuffing along here, so that's okay. Hopefully this won't be too loud. I'll find out later. Actually. Does seem a little quiet. Do want to make sure that my voice is over top of it. Hopefully it is. Okay. Last night, the previous stream, I've been working on the interface that allows you to reposition your characters. So this is the front row, this is the back row. 1 through 3 and 4, 5, 6. Click on a character, and move to that position, and everyone moves up. Or moves back. Want to see stats. So in this particular place, the Adventure Guidance and Success Center, this is the place you go to get some information about gameplay, basic information, and also just to take a look at your characters, at your party, by hitting stats. And then with that, you can just get an overview of your characters, what they're currently equipped, if they have hit points, what their stats are doing, and when are they going to get to the next level. Boar's snout is where you sleep, eat and drink. Nice little end music. And then go to sleep music. Here's your food and drink. I will need to work on this portion next. I want to get the character selections to be unified across all these interfaces, or all the pages, I should say. The smithy. That's where you purchase your armor and such. Here's where you go to get your magic items and equipment. Primarily, as you level up, if you go to purchase spell tomes, you'll see who can cast spells. So being green, those in red will not be able to buy spell tomes. And later on, I might add other academic things, such as maybe manuals of fighting or other things, maybe to increase abilities. Will also be located here. In that case, your fighters would be green, and your casters would be most likely red. And these are all grayed out because I've already purchased them. When you purchase a spell book and it's within the right level, and you have the gold or the amount of money, then you attempt to learn the spell that's in the spell tome. If you fail to learn the spell, then you go into the research and mastery section, and you pick somebody who has in need of remediation, and so you click them, and then you pick the level spell, the spell level you want to work on. This will be all spells in that level to relearn them, or basically relearn them. Now, right now it's all 1 gold, but I'll need to game balance that. Level 7's highest level spells, it's not going to be 1 gold, and the level 1 spells probably will be 1 gold. Chances of you losing out on the first level spells, though, are slim. Excuse me. Right. Most of these places of interest, if you click on the question mark here, it'll give you information about what this place does. This kind of explains a little bit more about the spells. When a caster learns magic, the ability to actually use such power involves understanding what the spell does and how the mind must open to allow the creation of reality. Learning spells requires mental training, and sometimes the training takes longer. When failure occurs, the caster may spontaneously unlock the spell, or additional training and study might be needed. Arcadia Incorporated provides such services for a small convenience fee. A caster can own a spell tome but fail to unlock the spell, requiring camp actions, sleeping, experience an epiphany while exploring, or enroll in Arcadia's remedial services. So essentially, if you fail to learn a spell, there's always going to be a continued chance, depending on your activities, to just learn it, because you're constantly studying it. Here's where you get potions and other miscellaneous items. So generally your fighters will be able to get potions. Your clerics and healers will get potions and salves. Now potions generally will work only on the person using them. Salves only works against friendly targets. So they will apply a healing salve or something to relieve of a medical condition caused by magic. That's what a salve is for. A wizard can also have vials. Vials are things that are thrown into the enemy. They will either affect a single target or multiple targets. Thieves right now, I don't have it put into the place, but they'll have pouches. And with pouches, it'd be like pouches of smoke and different things like that for subterfuge and chaos. Alright, I need to finish this out. This is the place where you can try to get your characters back if they do become deceased, with the chance of them not returning. depending how badly they're damaged in their level, that will affect the outcome. So when you have a character, when you have a party, usually consists of 6 players. With that, this will give you your current active party. Right now, it's the bucket kickers. I haven't kicked the bucket as of late, which is good. Basically, it gives a real quick overview. What level are they? They're 50%, like these 50% into the next level. So it's about halfway together. This will drop until you become new level. When you want to level up, you have to go to the Guild Hall Adventure Replacement, and just by entering that place, that's when you level up. Okay. Go ahead and stop the music here. I'm going to go back to stream music. Here we go. All right, back to code. Looking for the page. So this is basically this is a .NET Core website. Razor Pages, using MVC and Razor Pages. And so the different areas of the game is another page. And so I'm creating a website essentially. And then I connect the game inside of the website so that it persists, it maintains the state authentication, and it will basically help serve up the game. And what we need going into is I need to go into the boars, town boars. That's the essentially that is the inn. And I need to go find the area where they're picking somebody to eat food, which is right here. Need to replace these names out. The way this works is it's going to post back to the website that you've selected a PC or a player for a food action, and the town page is what's going to handle those actions. think I can get rid of the old one now. No, I can't. We don't need this. Alright. I'm gonna match up the codes. Let's see if this works. Do a hot reload. Food and drink. There we go. Frederick, yes. How about Hackham and Glaxo? Let's have them eat hearty or hearth roasted animal flesh. Alright, and there we go. They have consumed the hearth roasted animal flesh. And Sarah will get Frothy's best ale. And then ogre wine. All right. Don't pick dubious slime. That reduces everyone's hit points, which may or not may kill them. It's a test item, which hopefully won't last when the game actually launches. That'd be bad. All right. So far, it's working. Let's see. No, root. Yep. Right, I need to get this type of... What's the gnarled rut? More snout. That needs to change. I need that to be brighter. Yep, need it changes. So... I need to change that. Boars. I'll eventually find it. Interesting. Suppose I could have done it all at the same time, but that's okay. Okay. There we go. What sort of arrangements would the bucket kickers like to make? Wealth. Rest for a night, a day. Rest for 6 months. It's quite the rest. I mean, if you fight some dragons, there's good potential that you might need to rest. Now, ideally, when you play the game, you're probably going to have some healers, and they would be able to heal the body's damage pretty good. So you won't necessarily have to bring in your party and sleep, but you have to do. It's kind of a management thing. I mean, personal preference or whatnot. You don't want to sit and micromanage your stuff. You can do that, but if you just want to spend some gold and put it in here, you can do that as well. But I will be adding just a few secret bonuses for staying at an inn, because technically, when you stay at an inn, weary adventurers seeking out rest and recovery spend a few days or weeks in comfortable beds, enjoying fine meals and full service. All meals provide nourishment and may have special benefits. See, typically adventurers will stay overnight for a quick rest. A full day's worth of rest include quite quiet time for reading, polishing equipment, and meditating. A week of stay includes a full-time room service and access to caretakers specializing in physical therapy. A full month of stay allows for greater recuperation, access to healers, and, if needed, physicians. For the most dire of situations, a 6-month stay includes 24/7 specialized care and frequent blessings from the clerics of the Celestial. So you can get different levels of care sitting here, and some things can only be cured by sleeping in the inn. So, right, poor snout. Let's okay. Yeah, let's kind of fix this too. All right, so let's go here. Take this generic. There. And then we're going to find where. It's further down the page. Quests. Alright, available bids. And there's your wealth. So let's put any let's see. Would the bucket kickers would like to purchase limited what's the word I'm looking for? Not treasure, not, would like to purchase limited rights. Procure. Favor. Yeah. That'll work. And then the wealth. Let's find out. All right. Let's see what this does. All right. There we go. Okay. Let's see if this works. Do a test. We're going to go to the guild hall. As you can see, this needs all to be fixed. I wanted to rework it anyway, so perfect time. All right. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna create a new party. So let's create a new party. New party needs to be token. No, the doomed. Alright, well, here's what happens immediately. Good. Essentially, I create a new party, and then there's no one in my party. No party ready to head into the dungeon. So the option to go into the dungeon is completely out of the question. You just can't go in the dungeon without a party. Alright, let's go back to the Adventurers Guild. Yeah, because I went to the Adventurers Guild, it's still telling you A. Okay, I said go to the Adventurers Guild, but I went to the Adventure Guidance and Success Center, which immediately is saying, I don't have anyone to show you, so you need to go to here and recruit. Huh. Alright. Let's go back. Let's go to the actual place I need to go. Here we go. Let's add cleric, two fighters, thief, and a mage. Oh, wait, there we go, mage. There we go. Changing the names out. There we go. Now we got the Doomed. Perfect. Alright, now what are we going to do? Well, let's give him some weaponry. Well, let's see what kind of weaponry we have. So let's go up to Bart's. Test 1. Weapons. They have a club. Perfect. Test 2 has a club and a dagger. Also a dagger. And a dagger. And does not have anything. Let's give him a dagger too. Yes, purchase the dagger. Test 6 is purchased and equipped with the dagger. Perfect. Alright, let's go back to the main street. Let's head into the guidance center. And let's see, let's move test 3 here, test 4 there. Yeah, get them around a little bit. Let's take a look at their stats since I never actually paid attention. That's right, we got fighter number 1. He's test 3. 16 strength, that's not too bad. Okay, kind of intelligent. Yeah, I mean, this guy's too bad what I'm gonna do with him, but next fighter up. Oh boy. So strength of 15, good. Gets bonuses. Dexterity of 11. No roll bonuses, but still good dex. Good speed. Constitution is 16, good. A lot more hit points. The knowledge department, the brains are hardwired for battle and not much else. But they're very wise, so they just make the best of what they know, which is a very small amount. But they know how to use it. Just really don't understand the world much. Cleric. Intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So I need to make it so if I highlight this, it will tell me. Anyway. Not too charismatic, and not too smart. Well, you know, a little bit. Thief. Stronger than they are. Yeah. And this mage is abysmal. Oh. Yikes. So this mage, smart. Not very wise. Not force of personality is a little bit underwhelming. Can't lift a finger practically. And they're just sickly. They are perfect for what we're going to have coming up. All right. This will get scary. All right, let's go to the Arcadia and see what we can purchase. Please select a member of the Doomed. Doom. Anyway, member of the Doomed to make a purchase. All right, test 1, Cleric. You already know these spells because you get level 1s first for free. Minor heal will cost you this. Do you want to do that? Yes. It's gibberish. You can't do it because, oops, too high of a level. Right, 6. Okay. Okay. That's it. All right, let's go to see if we need to learn anything. Ooh. Looks like our cleric test 2, she needs to relearn some spells. So click on this, and no longer needs to relearn spells. It was successful. And same thing here. All casters now know their spells and their stones. Perfect. All right, I'm not sure why we're doing this, but we're going to find out. Here we go. To the dungeon. So in the dungeon, basically, you move forward by clicking forward like this. Turn around backward. Rotate right. Rotate left. And we're not going straight too far away. Hit the walls. Oofed. The Doomed ran into a wall. Test 2. The test number 2 subject has determined something is coming upon them. Uh-oh. Engulfed in a wave of foreboding. Here we go. Battle. What do we got? 3 level. We have 3 kobolds. Alright, assign everybody. Well, we'll have this guy cast a spell. Can't cast a spell. Let me hit my mic. Perfect. Well, problems. I didn't sleep or prepare them, so I guess they're doomed. Alright, let's see what's happening. I guess everyone's gonna fisticuff. Let's go. Alright, this is what's happening here. Let's unpack this. Unfortunately, one of the kobolds have a stunning club. Hits test 5 for 1 point of damage. A pike misses test 6, good. Test 5 can't attack because they're stunned. Test 3's dagger punctures for kobold for 7. Kobold's pike harms test 4 for 5. Club thrashes once, and a kobold gets hurt and goes down. These guys miss their kobolds. This guy stabs once for 6. Apparently did not kill a kobold, and test 5 is still stunned. Alright, let's get a look at the health here. What we have is some dire situations. One of our fighters are half beaten. Well, we must press on, so let's attack. Uh-oh, problems. Alright, so here's what happened. Kobold's pike is skewered. Test 4. Test 4 has been received of mortal wounds. Awesome. The other kobold has a pike as well. Punctures test 6 for 7. And test 6 has also received mortal wounds. Test 2 would have none of that. And strikes and destroys the kobold. Same for test 1. Test 5 was prevented from attacking. And test 3's dagger missed. And at the end of the round, test 5 is now no longer stunned. Alright. The characters have died and went to the end of the line. Deceased. They are deceased. We have one more kobold left. Everyone has almost all their hit points. So, when you have a beginning party, even though if you name it the Doomed, be sure to rest up and get ready for your battles ahead. Oh, misses. This kobold's tough. I'm going to reassign everybody that attempts to. We want the dead to fight, which they're not going to fight. Oh, lucky. Test 3 is absolutely lucky. So, Pike hits twice, and one of those, or if not both of them, probably just one of them, was a critical. But the damage is only 3. So, perfect. Get awful closer. I'll get battered. Alright. Will the kobold go down? Let's find out. Yes. Most excellent. Alright. We did get some gold. So what happens is that there's a total amount of experience for that battle. And it's divided up by how many survivors. So the survivors of a lesser party will get, meaning less members, they'll get more experience. Now gold is earned by a set amount of gold per survivor. So they only multiply by the survivors. So you get less gold, more experience. And the way gold works, or the treasures work, is that it's a shared gold through all of your characters. It's your guild that gets the gold, and you're actually running the guild. This is the party you've created, and that's what happens. All right, so I don't have the music on, but normally there's I think there's 4 tracks or 3 or 4 tracks of just ambient music in the dungeons. But if a death was detected, it will then go to very somber, reflective, somber music for the entirety, and then it will switch back to the dungeon music. So I do have sound set up. Now, Kevin McLeod, I need to hear his pronunciation of his last name. I'm sorry if I really messed it up. But he creates all sorts of royalty-free music that you just attribute the Creative Commons license, and he gives that up. I mean, he allows that to be used royalty free in games and for use of streams. It's very generous, very talented, and lots of things to look through. You can chop them up and work them out. I am using that music for this game. I highly recommend, if you're looking for some music, to go ahead and give that a try. Check them out. If you go to my About on my stream page, I have information there. Also, the compliance with the Creative Commons 4.0 license. Right, I'm just going to jump right to the town hall. This is why I did the test. I was expecting some of them to fall apart and have some deaths. So in that case, we have some deaths. And then we see that there are 2 positions open. Where do the bodies go? Well, they go here to the Celestial Curios Emporium. And this is what I need to fix up. Now that I have some data to fix with, I can now work with that. Ideally, what will happen is that as you collect gold in the game, you can then pay patronage to this Celestial Curios and Soliporium. With that, you can then basically resurrect them. If you pay in patronage, this comes out of your treasury. You build this up, and then if you have patronage, they will then perform their duties, because all services, as it says, all services paid up front, no refunds. But there is a possibility that when you try to resurrect them, it doesn't work. Or if you just simply decide, you know what, let's just go ahead and let them go, you can bury them. They will be buried with all their items. Alright, so this is the thing I'll be working on. I'm going to borrow from Town Info. Not Town Info. Town Stats. Yep. And find my character report. Actually, I can get rid of all this. Okay. Now, this being a Razor page, you can set up Razor pages that don't have any code behind, and then render them as partials. That way I can share a common thing. So the core stats and the weapon armor, these are common. That way I can just insert them into the main render of this page. In other areas I might want to pull out, like weapons and armor, and in Bart's, I use the same description in his store, so that when you look up information like, well, what does this do? It then revisits weapons and armor. The in the town where you go, the Center of Excellence, Adventure Center, you basically learn more about your character there. All right, so we have character stats. This is go into Celestial. And let's go down here where it is trying to build out. Display party. That's where it does all the work up here. And no, we're not going to do that. Instead, and then I got to go back to stats and go grab character stats. Actually, no, I gotta grab that. And go back to Celestial. Mortuary. We just need to which is one of my current level. Okay. What we don't want is this. Take a look at in this particular place, we don't need to be rearranging the dead. It doesn't really matter. Temporarily turn this off. Not draggable because we're not doing drag and drop. We don't need to have this happen. Nor this. Nor that. Nor that. Just an image. Looks good. And say title. Copy that. And we're just going to replace this because it's the same thing, really. All right. What does it go? Stats. pop in that position. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to need to expose conditions. Don't need position, but I need conditions. And then it'll need to be set up so when you select a character, you select them, and then you get to perform what you need to perform on them. There might be some micromanagement type of activities. Well, maybe not micromanagement, but kind of gets you more immersive. So, for example, the unfortunate demise of your character. Say they lost their head in an argument in the dungeon. So, you'll have a condition down here. I'll say decapitated. And you'll be like, yeah, let's bring him back to life. Well, can't do that. You need to first perform, and some fancy word for basically reattach the head, and to perform that, and then to basically clear their conditions that exist after death, or petrification. Say you died of petrification, it'll still say petrified. You need to turn stone to flesh. Get that back. So you need to do that first. And that might require party items. So by putting that in here, that'll give us more flexibility for more conditions and things like that. Let's say the adventurer was well charged, basically electrocuted, and there still has some magic charge on him. Yeah, you have to discharge him. You have to ground him. Because if you bring him back to life and is successful, they get immediately attacked by the charge. Maybe a little bit of a game of paying attention to the details. I don't know. That's just something I'm going to toss around. But for now, you just bring him back to life and it'll clear their stats. Cleansing, purifying, and aliving. Yes. Mortality strikes and adventurers may no longer be among the living. The CCSE can be of service during this great time of need. Opening a patronage account with us and supporting the local chapter will give a knowing peace that clerics stand by to bring the fallen back from the brink. Yes. Of course, the details are expired party members may decide not to return to this mortal realm, or their condition may be too grave for life services. The CCSE cannot be held responsible for accidental chimera creations, zombification, or disintegration of fallen friends. Yes, you may find yourself in a battle because your star warrior came back as a little something else, and now you have a major battle. Things like that could happen, yes. All services, of course, are paid up front, no refunds. stop breathing into the mic. Be helpful. All right. What I'm thinking in my head, basically, I have a mechanism that allows me to select a character, and I need to propagate that. Basically, I gotta capture that from another process, another area, and change it so that I can do the same type of selection here. So I'm trying to think of, okay, so I don't want multiple select, I want single select. And it's Bart's that does single select. So let's go to Bart's. And let's take a look at the single select system. I need a menu code. Excuse me. So, menu code. Hey, I'm Evil. Glad you could make it. How are you doing today? I think we're bouncing around on a couple channels here today. Yeah, basically I am continuing on the good old development. Basically, I'm trying to add, getting closer. Since I have, I didn't hit refresh. Well, I'm sure, yeah. Culture. I'm not sure I understand. Or I didn't mean to say culture if I said culture. What I'm doing is trying to make the same interface. So, that's right. Oh, interesting. It just kind of works. So I made add culture. Add some extra culture. No, I'm basically adding the selector type structure to all the different screens, because that's going to be kind of a common way to select and then do something with. And I created another party called the Doomed, and I just randomly picked a bunch of people from the guild roster and threw them into the dungeon. And the first battle was epic, and I lost 2 of them. So now that's because I need to test the resurrection services of the game. So I need to have something to test on, and I didn't want to throw away my level 13s. So it would be almost impossible to kill them off. So, one got skewered horribly. Actually, they both got skewered to death. It's kind of sad. So I got a couple of them getting ready to be fixed, as it were. So we have this selection here. So I'm going back to see the boar snout actually has. Oh, this is a party action. So it just says I try to make the wealth and the little what sort of arrangements would the doomed like to make, or depending on where they're at, and that changes the text a little bit. And then I'm trying to standardize that across all the UIs. Guild hall, don't want to touch that yet. Food and drink, there we go. Please select members of the doomed wanting to partake in a tasty menu item. So if I click on them, I want these 3 to take. Now there is a dubious slime option here. That's a special programmer test that basically reduces their hit points. It's supposed to reduce them to 1, but I've noticed it does reduce them to 0. And people are not supposed to die inside of the town. So I don't push that button. Hopefully this won't. Well, I probably will have dubious slime, but I'll make it a legitimate item. What's going to be nice is I do want to have the menu change. And if you go and find certain things in the dungeon, you can bring them back, having them in your party. Then the menu will change based off of those items. It'll see some flavor text say, hey, we noticed you got the heads of some sort of something. We can make a delicacy with that if you like. And then if you do that, then you get some like special buffs, like your weapons become charged of electricity for the next 10 hours or something like that. So this will change. And if you happen to carry something that you're not sure what it is inside of your pouches, then there's a good chance that you could have the opposite. They can cook up some mushrooms that you probably shouldn't eat. So I want to have some fun with that too. It's ogre wine. So there we go. Alright, so we go back Let's see here. Also for jobs, same. That's a group again. Would the Doom like to purchase limited rights to procure favor? There we go. And then Boar Snout. I keep going back to their accident. Bart, also the same thing. You can now pick a character like so. And select the weapons, and then you can, so you can make selections like this. But same kind of interface. So yeah, I'm just going down the line trying to fix this. Now, I'm now going to major functionality into the Celestial Curios and Soul Emporium. With that, that's going to allow me to check out how I'm going to get this to work. Is with there we go. So here are the two that fell over. If I hit stats, it will then bring up information about who parted. I need to make a little more changes to this, like highlight the fact that they don't have any life, and if there's conditions available, I need to show the conditions. Get rid of 2 view. Awesome. Thanks, Drigny, for coming by and rating me. Certainly do appreciate that. My own alert scared me. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah. Absolutely. Awesome. Let me try something. How was your stream, Mr. Igny? I kind of stopped by to kind of see what you guys are doing for quite a bit. That was pretty fun. See if this works. All right, my first shot out. Woohoo! I'm trying to avoid the scuff. I have no idea what I'm doing, so yeah, that alert was kind of deafening. Awesome. Beat the nightmare in Dreamland tonight. Perfect. Now, have you ever beaten the nightmare before, or is this a rematch? Man, I'm sorry, that was deafening, but that was funny. I mean, it was kind of deafening. I scared the crap out of me. I'm not expecting any of that. Thank you. Very nice. So I don't know if you had a chance. I'm just kind of basically, let me kind of explain myself a little bit. Of course, I'm Chief Multi-Hat. What I'm doing is I'm trying to create my own game, and this is the Dungeon of Treptera, essentially. With this, if you got time, I can give you a little bit of a run through. I don't know, but if you need to go, just let me know. It'll be perfectly fine. Otherwise, I can go ahead and set up. I'll get the music going on this game. I can kind of show you off a little bit if you want me to. See how it goes here. Let me get back. Okay, how do you think the is the music set up okay? Is this loud? Trying to get a good mix between myself and the game music. Trying to adjust my monitors. I think this should be good. Might be quiet. We'll see here. Okay, I can turn it up a little bit. Actually, let me turn it up for the game. How about this? Is this about a good balance, you think? We can go with this a little bit. Essentially, when you start the game, I'll give a little blurb. I need to shrink this down so it'll fit in the mobile easier. But when you start it, you get the intro music. Little bit of music there. And then alpha stage, so start playing it. This will play through the score, and then it'll start the game itself, and then you can kind of move around now. So like if you go to the Welcome Center, it'll tell you a little bit about the game, gives you a little story behind the game. You know where you're at, and what are you trying to do. You're in the guild. You're going to recruit. You're going to recruit adventurers who are flocking to your guild all across the world. You're going to put them together, and put them into your party. And then you go into the Grand Dungeon Argust, which is a dungeon maze down below the town. There's 10 levels. There's 30 by 30 rooms in there, about 900 rooms roughly, for every level. And the deeper you go in, the more treacherous it becomes. You basically go into the guild hall, which is really broken apart because that's what I'm working on. But if you go into the guild hall, you essentially your characters will come in. You get to re-roll the characters. You could accept them into your guild, or you could just dismiss them. The more you re-roll your characters, they lose their luck points because you're trying to increase their abilities. So why would they need luck? But if you just take what they are, then you have a luck pool. How does luck work? Well, it might prevent death. It may, give you some bonuses later on. It's just basically a hook to prevent you from constantly re-rolling all the time, but nothing's to stop you. If you'd like to do that, you can. Basically your standard RPG type. Strength, body and mind and such. And so you have clerics, fighters, mages, and thieves, and then I have others as well. So basically this is the guild as a management piece that allows you to go in, create your guild, and then create your parties. So I have multiple parties here. So once you have a party created, you go to Bart's Metalworks and start putting together your team. So if you go in and you go into your weapons, you get to purchase your weapons, and you do that same thing with your armor, and then you do that with go get your spells. This is who's your spellcasters. You click on them, pick your spells. Then you also then go to the Gnarled Root. Yeah, you're basically building up the teams for quests. Yep. Get your items, potions. At some point, I unfortunately might have to have some dewormer kits. I don't know. You gotta be careful what you eat in the dungeon. Now, what I'm working on right now is the Celestial Curios Soul Emporium. It's very important. I need to turn off my other music so I can have this music work better. Nice. So basically, I have thematic music on a lot of different places you can go. The dungeon also has multiple types of theme music. There's on my channel in the About section, there is Kevin MacLeod that he makes a bunch of game music to be used in games. It's a Creative Commons license. Yeah, this is all website based, absolutely. So I'm actually creating in this. Let me pause this a little bit. So yeah, this is a C# project, and I'm really just creating a website, a C# website that I then put my own game into it. So I'm kind of building everything up from scratch. It's a website, and then I add the ability to run the game. So this information is the game, and then the other parts is the information just to run the website. I'm going to create the pages that represent the different parts of the game, and then it allows you to your browser is used to play, but the game's not running in your browser. So I'm always having difficulty to describe it. When I say, it's a web app or it's a web game, I mean like HIO. Not really. I need to have a server for this to work, and I'm also trying to figure out a way to bundle this so that I can potentially sell this on Steam. I'm still working out the details because this is not your typical game engine type thing where you can get on Steam. But I might be able to create a client, like say in Game Maker, and then the Game Maker can connect to the service, which you could download when you get the game. So essentially, the whole point of the game is that yes, you can connect to this, run this on your local machine. But myself, I could run this game on a hosted service or my own, and I can have people connect to it. And everything about the game is data driven. So you, as the owner of the game, you can go in, add your own artwork for the monster portraits. You could then go in and you can create your own mazes, because I also have within this. So this is the map builder within the game. You can actually create all the maps. You can set up the monsters. You can create the monsters, their abilities, the weapons, the armor, the spells, the effects, and basically, tailor this to, say, space battle. You could actually change out the graphics. So yeah, ultimately you could do these things, but I got to get it finished first. So these are my tool sets, and some of these tool sets are very programmer tool sets because they're not really fancy for someone to purchase. But yeah, that's the design for this. But I'm gonna go back to the game. Yeah, so as a runner, so if you're running the game, you could go on your own website at the Dungeon Master and create things. And then the meat and potatoes of the game basically is, I'm gonna go switch out, get rid of the doomed here for a second because they're doomed. Go to the guild hall. I'm gonna go down, and I'm gonna get my favorite team called the Bucket Kickers. There we go. You can have multiple. You also can have multiple parties. All right. Back to game music a little bit. And then we'll finish off. So basically you get a quick rundown. Okay, as my player is ready. Now I forgot to read the instructions. As the guy who made the game forgot to read his own instructions. It's hilarious. I made these guys the doomed. I got everything I went and gave them daggers. I'm not cruel. I got daggers and clubs. They come with at least leather or robes. But I forgot to follow rule number 5 here. After you do all that, you should go to the inn and sleep and get ready for the next day. I forgot to do that, so they spent all their time mastering their spells. They knew how to cast. They just hadn't any mana to do it. So I really did doom them when they went into the dungeon. So here's the dungeon. Here's the actual game loop. It's a little bit grindy. The whole idea is to go into the maze, get lost. Well, don't get lost, but find out how to move, navigate through it, find your monsters, and then defeat them. You have the inspection where you could change out your weapons if you have to. You can little reflection music. You could then go to camp. This is where you could sleep, but if you sleep, you might have to click on. Yes, exactly. You could then, there's my fighters. I want them to guard while I'm sleeping, and then you hit ready, and you have a round of sleep. You could sleep in the dungeon. Is it dangerous? Yes. Sleeping in a dungeon full of monsters is dangerous. You need to have guards. If you have no guards, if you're deep enough in the dungeon and just decide to sleep, you might end up immediately dead. So use with caution. But it has that ability. Little help kind of gives you some help. You can, some self-help there. Let's break camp. Let's just do a quick battle, then I can get back into it. So yeah, a little ambiance music. So the way this works is if you click in the general center section of the maze, you move forward. And you move forward like that. If you move to your left, you rotate. Oh, I have an encounter. It's slimes. Now, this is also in the process of being changed. I used to have this section of it up over here. So this is not really aesthetically pleasing, but I'm still working on the graphics. get an idea where the graphics are going, this is basically the kind of a mock-up of how I want to create the mobile version of the game, at least the visuals. And so you can see how over here, getting ready to battle, I choose what I want to do here, and then it'll all flow that way. But that's where I'm heading toward. That's my update. Thanks, Hey I'm Evil, for that, because he goes, hey, I can't play this on my mobile. I'm like, right, it'd be nice to be able to play this on mobile. So take a little diversion once we get this set up. Certainly, but yeah, we go through your options. If you have more than one group, you can select more groups. You assign everybody if you want to. That defaults to just giving everybody, hey, everyone, here's all the combatants. That's going to fight. That's the fight command. If you want to parry, that increases your ability to not die. So you can parry weapon. You can parry attacks. Fight. If you select fight, you just click on the heads that you want to fight. If you want some spells done, these guys can't cast spells, but other guys can. These are mages. So if you click on a wizard, you select Lava Burst, for example. I know these are poor slime, that's way overpowered, but that's okay. Lava Burst. Mysterio, he'll cast Sleep. Now what's interesting is that even though you're a mage, your intelligence is important, 15 and 19. But this guy has a 16 speed, or dex, so that's going to give him a leg up, and when he starts casting that spell, he might cast it quicker. So basically, you set up your strategy, and you hit go, or hit battle. Mysterio got right off the bat, he made these things fall asleep. They try to attack, but they can't because they're slept. And then Rapier goes crazy. We slice and dice pretty badly. Wizard tries to do Lava Burst, but there's nothing to fight, so takes care of that. So all that artwork I've been sharing is basically going to this game. I think I get 140 finally monsters. I still need more, but this is where they go. You show a monster portrait, and then here's you get your reward, your experience divvied up, and then your gold times per person alive, and then yeah. So I continued my turn. So yeah, you just basically go through the maze, and these are doors, so you go through the doors. So one of the things I need to thank you. So yeah, this is where I'm going to add like different sound effects too. So as you're walking through here, like footsteps, and then little incidental sounds I need to add to the game. For the tech stack, the website is just CSS, HTML, and JavaScript, but I'm using Howler as the sound processing. So I'm using Howler to allow me to play the music, and then I'm using like HTMX, which is another technology that allows how I transmit data back and forth from the web pages to the server, because I want the server to handle what's going on, not your computer. And I don't want something heavy like React, which is like everything's written in React, and this is not, so I don't have React. So I got the software engineering side of me kind of geeking out a little bit, but I'm trying to keep that at bay, and I'm basically just trying to make a game with that. So yeah, you got flee options, so it's your RPG, and I'm trying to get all this thing put together. So this has been it's been a journey. I started in September of 23. I'm hoping by the end of the year I'll have at least a 1.0, at least playable on a server at some point in time. So that was like the fastest I've described it, without all the detail of what's going on, but hopefully it wasn't too much. So go to town. Yeah, so all that's going to be kind of fit into here. So yeah, this is all programmer art. I've been working on different programming art in MS Paint. So that's what we're doing. Absolutely. I'll certainly appreciate you sticking around and taking a look at this. Absolutely. Yeah, you have a good night. Yeah, absolutely. I hope so. Yep, you have a good night. Cool. So yeah, we're basically working on trying to get these services to work. Right, so when you click on these guys, I need to be able to select them. And I need to go borrow that code from something that works. So which is over here, I think in parts. So, part select PC. Alright, now we're going to go into the code and we're going to go to town. This is a Razor page. Alright. So a lot of this code is just working with the website, Razor Pages, and then with that, this is the game that gets passed in. This is the game engine, this host, and then I'm going to call this. So I'm going to grab information off that host, like, right, give me the game object, G, game session. That's as the player. This is the record for everything that deals with the player. And then the game components like the scenario generator that creates the monsters. Maybe I need some weapons manipulation. Oh, here's the master weapons list, the armor master. Also, I have an item master, but we're not dealing with those in the town, so I don't have those here. Okay, and I have various helper functions. So I've been in the process of converting the code from one way of doing things to others. And this is the area I'm going to process it. So these are the bindings. And I remember Bart selected PCs. So Bart selected. I don't have Bart select PC. I'm going to put it next to this because I'm working with it, so I'm going to put it next to it. All right. You'll select PC. Okay, take that. So what happens is when you put properties in your class that's going to handle your process, it's going to by saying bind property, then it's going to pull that out of the post and assign it to this property of this class. copied from the wrong thing. But that's okay. Not distributed cache. Alright, let's grab something more. Actually, I think if I just grab this. And go over here. Replace this. Yeah. Like that. Okay, and then select this. There we go. Right. Then let's go to the processor because we have selected the PC. So let's look for Bart selected PC. Control F. Let's go find it. Perfect. Right. F, not string, empty. Oops. All right. So what this is going to do is this handles when you get a when I'm selecting a head, it's going to set properties off of that character to indicate that I've selected it. The game engine has flow states, and basically this is saying what part of the game, where are you? You're in Celestial Curios. And then if you're selecting things to purchase, which in this case I'll be purchasing a Resurrect, and then it has a built-in ability to say, are you sure you wish to pay it this amount, whatever. Except in this particular case, I won't do that when you push Resurrect. I don't know. Probably should put a confirmation, but anyway, it might have a conversation. Might have that, but beyond that, it will initiate the process of the resurrection from the old code. All right, this should be selecting. We'll just see what happens. Not sure what it's doing. Let's find out. What? Oh, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, if you're still with me, Evil. Yeah, that's fine. Get some rest and recuperation. Sorry for the flashbang there. Alrighty. Push the button. And why is that null? Let's see here. Oh, so with the let's see, did I have any other work, or when did you start? Did you jump straight into the dungeon or or not on this game until these days? So let's see. No, I haven't worked on any other games up until this point. At least not in common sense. Way back before the internet actually picked up, used to be bulletin board services. And with a bulletin board, you would have a computer and a modem. You would call, the computer would call and connect to another computer, where then you would get basically a menu, ANSI graphics or text graphics or ANSI. You have a terminal, and with that, I ran a bulletin board service. And then I wrote actual door games. Now, I actually completed door games. So I did write games before, except there were door games. Serial driver allowed, basically, they worked with the BBS. They connected over the modem. And when I did that, I had to learn how to use assembly language. I was talking to the computer directly. I had to write my own assembly language drivers in the old DOS days. Low-level drivers. Then I wrote another driver on top of that takes low-level information and then gives me an interrupt to work with. And then I use a C library as my game engine. I spent about 6 months creating my door game engine that handled everything of the graphics of the ANSI terminals and stuff like that. And then I built with that engine. Then I turned around and built a strategy game called Final Conquest. I made with something called Micro Warriors, where you're a cell and you move around 8 stuff and had fighter cells and mother cells, strategy games. And so I made a few door games plus some door utilities for like messaging and things like that. Then the internet came by, and it's all history now. But yeah, I have worked on some game concepts before. I've also used to work with multi-user dungeons. So I wrote TCP/IP code, telnet code. So I was basically the boilerplate guy, the guy who did the engineering behind the game. So yeah, I have networking. I've created libraries to help support that, and also created MUDs way back. So this is, for this longest time, I'm like, someone asked me one day, well, have you made games? I'm like, I don't know why I haven't made a game. I mean, I want to, but I've been primarily doing, although this is my hobby to program. In my day job, I actually, I'm an enterprise software developer. So, full stack, I could do the whole thing, different technologies. And so now I'm borrowing some of that to make my game, because it's a website and different things. But so it's all kind of done from scratch a little bit. So yeah, it's been fun. Learn about a lot of different things. I would like to get into the actual game engines, but everything's centric around in the game engine and learning how that works. It's a little bit different. And here everything's like centered around the game rules. It's turn-based. I don't have to worry about the physics, or I don't have to worry about how many frames of art needs to happen before I could, respond to a key push. It's very, stop motion, as it were. But then but getting to something like GameMaker or Godot or Unity, it's something I want to do. I probably want to start with maybe GameMaker. Making 2D games, potentially. So, but I'd like to get this one finished and then kind of get an idea going there. I'll probably borrow some of the artwork I've done and make it different games with the artwork. Kind of just build off of that. But yeah. Yeah, the world before the internet. You were connected, you did it differently. Been quite interesting. Okay, GF control. Let's make sure that's going to be working correctly. Tween. Well, no, that's not what that does. GF town. There we go. Oh, I don't even have a correct GF state. Right. So what's happening here? So I have what's called enumeration. Kind of hold state information, and I've broken everything down. It is in an order, so this is the least number, and this is the most number. Generally it's integers, so 0 through however many. So what I've done is I've made this linear so that from here to here, starting with this, less than this, means I'm in the gnarled root. If I'm starting here, but less than this, I'm in Bart's. So I can get like a general, I convert this level of information down into like, do I need to do a gnarled root operation? Do I need to do a Bart's operation? Do I need to do an Arcadia operation? Well, what I don't have here is I have Celestial Curios, so I need to go between Celestial Curios and Town Explorer. So where is so get this in the right order. Go to definition, Town Arcadia. After town stats. Okay. Okay. Yeah, less than town stats. Greater than equal to game state. So this linearly checks out. Go to definition. Explorer, start here, less than that, yes. But that is above all the other town things, so perfect. Okay. This will help. 14 references. get the proper routing. Yep, I do draw in MS Paint. Yep. Yeah. If you're still with me, sorry, I must have missed your message or evil, but I'll just want to say, yeah. I haven't really just purposefully spent a long time making the art. I've done this stuff kind of on and off, but it's been a long time. And yeah, MS Paint, I've just been using MS Paint, my go-to, to create the creatures. Yep, and then my fuzzy slime is the more advanced version of my so far artwork. Absolutely. Certainly appreciate that. Yeah, I try to do the shading. I have a little bit of an art understanding, where the lights and stuff are, but I don't really have the muscle memory to really draw real well. I have the ability to cramp my wrists up though. But trying to get more art to pain ratio. I need to increase more art. Alright, let's see if we get some art. No, Celestial Curios going. No, fire, no. This is garbage. What's going on? Stop. Why is this still Bart Select? Oh, that's why. Oh my goodness. Because it didn't propagate. Alright, let's go. Yeah, hopefully I don't put a lot of monsters in there and do it overshare. I did ask at the beginning if there's any artists out there who would like to help me do some of the art. I got no hits, so I was forced to. Now I kind of want the style. But yeah, even the maze. I mean, the maze is Let's see, what would that be? Parts 2. Always worried about art. If I have some some inappropriate art somewhere pops up, I'm doomed. Not that I should be, but didn't I have a major texture? Cut and paste pieces here and there. Yeah, like if, for example, don't save. So yeah, this is like my master sprite sheet. That's not even built to be a sprite sheet, but still, I put everything in here and have a copy of it. So I might grab stuff and meme on a couple things. But yeah, this is what I've been building out. So, you know, essentially I would like, I just do this by mouse. Move around a little bit. Used to move. Where's my button? I would use just the mouse for the longest of times. I thought, you know, how much are these digital pads? So I got a kind of entry-level pad. It's not digital. It just connects into it. You know, and so I do like my color color swathing a little bit. Do something like that. Let's see. I think I already have a copy of my Freet. I don't know why I made it green, but let's go down. Let's looking for the Freet. There he is. Yep. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'll clear this out. So what I do is set up my palette. I just make the background black, transparent. Now, if I just learn how to use like GIMP or something actually good, it'd be better. Okay, so let's say I want to draw a slime variant. Something kind of easy. Well, for me now, easy. And let's kind of go with kind of a steel green look. So maybe let's get the old. Oh crap! Gotta do some calibrations. Oh no! I'll do this later. I'll do my next stream. I'll do more art if you have a chance to be here. Maybe coordinate. I'll show you my scuff art process. I'll make another monster. Basically, I'm gonna create a more of a monstrous slime, and I'm gonna give him a little bit of depth. He's gonna have like he's gonna kind of have a mouth when it comes up, and then he's going to have like kind of a gaping mouth. A little bit, a little drippy, you know, and I'm gonna go with something like that. So, yeah, I can do that later. Yep, no problem. Get some rest. I certainly appreciate you being there. Yep, thank you for showing. Certainly appreciate it. Yeah, let's color. Let's start with this one. Let's see what place. to start with a rough outline. So my technique is nothing special other than I basically go in and rough it out and make mistakes and just make the drawing like putty. Draw over it, repaint it, and then shape it until I get the shape I want. Better at doing it, the better I become, the less time I take shaping it. So I'm gonna give a I can hardly see that. Yeah, so let's do artwork to my game here. Kind of got on a tangent, so I'm going to kind of finish this a little bit, kind of my scuff art. thank you. Thanks for the follow, Elfie. Appreciate that very much. Kind of overdone it a little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to kind of draw a monstrous slime a little bit, kind of give a little bit of horror. Try to get some depth here on the shading. Need more monsters to vanquish in the game, you know. Let me correct that a little bit. Just drip a little bit. We got nice. A little brighter here. Nice. Maybe. Too many of these. Yeah, too many of those. Just one. Make it kind of drippy. certainly do appreciate that. Yeah, it'd be a mix of technical stuff and then gameplay. You know, you got a whole bunch of things you got to do in this game. So there'll be some art, there could be some programming, there'll be some theory. I certainly appreciate you hanging out with me. Maybe get into some teaching modes as well. Oh, excellent. Yeah, I'd recommend if you find a game jam to get into, that'd be good too. Absolutely. Alright, I think that's going to be done for the slime I kind of wanted to do. You can't turn out nice. Oops. I don't like how I took out the edges though. Right, save this. Okay, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. Got some thunderstorms rolling through. I don't know if this power doesn't work. So, thanks if you've made it to the end of my VOD. It's going to be great. Appreciate that. Kind of finished the evening off with another monster. Kind of a monstrous slime. Devouring slime, I think I'm going to call this guy. Yeah. Alright, y'all have a good evening, morning, or afternoon, however it may be. Thanks so much for sharing it with me. And until next time, have a great time.